So I want to go over what it is. Blake was like, his particular question was, dude, how do I make money with a side-by-side? And here's my opinion on the side-by-side life. Here's how you make money with the side-by-side. Number one, you can generate power and run your electric tools off of it. Two, you've got your winch for pulling out plants. So if you don't have a skid steer or anything like that, one of these little trucks works. You can find them on Craigslist for like 4 or 5 grand, like older Rangers and stuff like that. I went with this one because it's sentimental, because it's got the 21 horsepower Kubota diesel. It's the first diesel engine I ever owned, and a grasshopper. When I was 17, I was building my lawn company for the first time, and I ended up buying 3 of those things. And so I just love, this is my 4th Kubota 21 diesel, and I've had so much luck with this. I've never served it, like they're besides changing the oil, I've never had to do anything on these things. I always roll with the cooler when we're out on a job site. So we've got the cooler, we've got the water cooler, so that means lunches and waters are there. One thing that drives me crazy with my other laborers was that they would be walking to the truck, leaving their water bottle, coming back to the job, walking back to the truck, going out to just wasting time all day. Now the water's on the thing. Radio, speakers, don't have it hooked up yet, but I've got the marine radio and speakers for it. You can do light bar, you can wrap the thing so people will see you when you're out working. Like I said, if you've got the winch on it, you can tie it around bushes, plants, and pull out those bushes and plants. You can also haul in bushes, plants, mulch, whatever. Basically replaces a wheelbarrow. I didn't get this option because I had bobcats and things like that. You can get a power winch or a power lift on it, which basically means that this thing has a PTO, which means if you really want to get special with it, you could add quip couplers and maybe run an auger off of the back of your UTV. So that's something for you. Tool racks, obviously for you guys up north, you can put plows on these things, so it's a good way to do sidewalks. And I don't know about the Kubota. I think the Kubota could do it, but you can also put snow blowers on these things. So putting a snow blower on this and doing sidewalks, driveways, etc., is a really good way just to get into the market. And like I said, I financed mine just to get a Kubota account. It's really easy to do. I mean, you need marginal credit score to get one of these things financed. And it was 1/10 of the cost that I was paying a laborer for the same thing, except it always shows up to work. It never complains. It's the Kubota 21, so I trust it a lot more than any of those laborers for fact. And if you've got a lawn route, that's kind of like getting to the point where it's almost maxed and you're looking at maybe getting a second truck on the road, you might want to explore the idea of having one of these with a smaller trailer, doing your flyers with the small truck, inspecting your job sites around neighborhoods if they're tight. And then you can also take this, you can have a long trailer roll up when your main truck, right? So you can roll up in your main truck, have a 25-foot trailer, take your mowers off of it, have another 5-foot or 10-foot trailer behind it, put your walker mower or whatever the heck is on this guy, basically just double up trailers, and now boom, you roll into a neighborhood and you divide and conquer. And we used to do that a lot. And then, like I said, I pitched the PTO idea. Some of these things have PTOs. Now when they first came out, the Kubota for the first 2 years actually had quick couplers that you could hook up attachments in the back. That means grapples, you know what I mean? That means augers. It didn't have a lot of flow, but you could still do stuff like that. And then in addition to this, I'm going to walk you guys over to the desk sled, because the desk sled's kind of coming around. I've got the Kubota because I see an opportunity, at least in Florida, to do aquatics, because like half of this state's water, and water pays buku bucks. And so I built out the desk sled, and the Kubota is a good way to get the desk sled in the back of neighborhoods, in the back of, just in the back of anywhere, really, because it's 4-wheel drive and the whole deal. Putting this thing in the back of a neighborhood is like, it's easy, especially with Kubota. Kubota's got locking hubs. It never gets stuck. I mean, I bottomed it out one time because the tires are stock. If I wanted to put bigger tires on it, I could. The tool cat. Let me explain to you guys about the tool cat. So the tool cat's the Kubota. We'll flip this around. All right, so the tool cat is made by Bobcat, and it's a UTV. It's the biggest, most expensive UTV they make. It's 55 grand for the Bobcat tool cat. Now it can run grapples, they've got the whole attachment thing on it. I like the Kubota because it's not 55 grand. It's not as badass, I'll admit that, but I like building my crap. So I like putting my own tool rack on it, my own light bars, you know, my own winch type of situation. I actually bought the Kubota with its winch, we just haven't hooked it up. I should have had the dealer do that. Like I said, it's got locking hubs, so like if you get stuck, you literally just pull this thing and boom, you're out. It's really, really simple. Like, you know, it's got its 4-wheel drive, and it's not a whole lot of information here going on. It's got its plugs on it. Like I said, it's got its inverter and everything like that on it. And it basically replaces, for me, it replaces that dude that I used to hire. So like yesterday I was moving my refrigerator from the truck to the house, and I was like, you know, what would normally be a two-man job, it was just like I backed this up to the truck, slid it off the truck, put it on the Kubota, backed it up to the house, slid it into the back of the house, done. You know, no more like Chris, Tyler, Dominic, etc., etc. I don't have to deal with those guys anymore because the Kubota has replaced them. And there are a few things that you want some labor for, but what I've noticed on like a job is like there might be like an hour a day if I'm doing a landscape job or something like that, that I'd be like, oh man, I wish I had my gopher boy to just kind of do this. And I do have part-time guys that'll work with me and a full-time guy that works with me, but all the big stuff I do, all the big tasks, all the tasks that are really heavy in labor, all the areas where I can't get big equipment into, I can't get deliveries into, I run the Kubota. And I've even set it up where I've got my lawn trailer, my old 12-foot lawn trailer, my original starter trailer back there. And so I've got that, and I can put 2 pallets of mulch on that thing and then hook it up behind the Kubota, and I can get 2 pallets of mulch in with no tracks, no tearing up a lawn, etc., etc. Now, I'm not doing any residential mulching jobs. I'm just mulching for myself out here because I want to get the circle of love looking like on point. But yeah, and then in the forestry game, let me get back to how you make money with this thing. So there's a million tasks that you can do with it. One, its biggest thing is it's going to replace the labor for you. I didn't hit on this point yet, but you can have tow behind mowers for this thing. So I'm looking at a twin setup. It's kind of like a Northern Tool. They've got like these, you know, 21 horsepower engines or 25 horsepower, whatever, Briggs and Stratton, maybe like 45-inch cut or 42s or whatever the heck it is. And you can put twin of them. You can put 2 of them in there, like one longer than the other, and run them like a bat wing, kind of. And now you're mowing like 110 inches, like with 50 horsepower dedicated in the back, and then you've got the Kubota towing it through whatever. So you can get in areas that tractors won't even get in. So I'm actually exploring the idea of doing like 5-acre, larger mowing service in a way, and I'll be doing it with the Kubota. I've also got over this way some tanks lined up for it. You can see the big one back there with the Bobcat windshield and the hot tub that we're going to work on soon. That is going to be for spraying Roundup. So you can spray Roundup, you can spray fertilizer, you can do whatever the heck you want to do. If the property is large enough, they do make fertilizer spreaders for the bumper or like the winch. Or not the winch, well I guess the reese hitch on these things. So that's another thing that you can do. So if your mower is currently doing it, I think that the UTVs, in my opinion, I think the UTVs are about to give the zero-turn market a run for its money. I also think that guys that have 1 or 2, maybe 3 zero turns, instead of getting a 3rd or 4th, they might consider getting a UTV because it puts them into landscaping, it gets them out of some employees, and I think it expands your horizon, lets you do more with a little bit of less.